Hey guys, in this video, you're going to learn how to actually create an object. So, when you create an object from a class, it can be done outside the class or inside the class. This is the syntax for creating an object from a class. You will write the name of the class from which you want to create the object. Then you will write the name that you want to give the object. Object names are just like variable names. They can be anything you want, but each object has to have a different name. Then, you will write equal to, and then write new. The new word indicates that you are creating a new object. Then, you will write the class name again, and then you will open a pair of parentheses. Inside these parentheses, you will have to fill in the values that you want to assign to the parameter variables in the constructor. First, I will show you an example of creating an object, and then I will explain that example. This should give you a better understanding of how to create an object from a class. So, going back to our example of the dog class, I want to create an object of type dog from this class. So you may or may not remember that at the very beginning of the course, I told you that every program in Java has something called a main method. You must be familiar with it by now. It looks like this. So the main method is just something that every Java program needs to serve as an entry point to the program, so that the program can be executed. This is why I have now included the main method. Now in this main method, I'm going to create a dog object. Now these are the attributes that I want for my dog object. I want the name to be Sparkles. I want the breed to be Siberian Husky. I want the age to be 1, and I want the color to be white. So, following the syntax that I showed you earlier, I will write dog, which is the class name, followed by puppy, which is what I want to name the object. Remember that object names are like variable names. They can be whatever we want them to be. So here, puppy is the identity of this object. And then I'll write equal to, new, dog, the class name again, and then I'll open parentheses. Now inside these parentheses, I'm supposed to fill in the values that I want to assign to each variable in the parameters. So if we go back and look at the constructor, the first variable that I am supposed to fill in is the dog name, and I want the dog name to be Sparkles. Also notice that the variable is of type string, and remember that we always store strings in quotation marks. So, I will open quotation marks inside these parentheses and write Sparkles. Now this string Sparkles will be the value assigned to the variable dog name over here. Now remember that we separate each parameter value with a comma. So before filling in the value for the second parameter, I will write a comma. Now as you can see, the Java program has automatically given me this label dog name, but keep in mind that this label right here is not a part of my code. It's similar to a comment, and it's supposed to help me understand that the value that I'm filling in here is going to be assigned to this variable over here, dog name. Then, the second parameter variable in the constructor asks to fill in the dog breed, and I want the breed of this dog object to be Siberian Husky. So, since it is also a string, I will open quotation marks and write Siberian Husky. Now I will follow the string value with a comma again. Now I need to fill in the age of the dog, which is 1. The variable dog age is of type int, so I don't need to use quotation marks for this one, because quotation marks are just for strings. So I will write 1. And finally, the last value to fill in is the color of this dog object, which is white. So now I have created an object from this dog class. This dog object is referred to by the name puppy. I can also name this object X, Y, or anything else. So, we created an object and we assigned it some data. What data did we assign to it? We gave it a dog name, a breed, an age, and a color. Hopefully, you are beginning to understand how the class that we created here served as a blueprint for creating this object. We use this constructor and these parameters as a blueprint for creating our object. because we filled in these values in the brackets according to the parameters of this constructor in this class. So now, the value sparkles over here will be stored in this variable dog name, and since this variable name is set to the value of dog name in the body of the constructor here, the value sparkles will now be assigned to name. And the same goes for the rest of the parameter values that we filled in. So this is how the data of this object is initialized through the blueprint in this constructor over here.